is our dear Pastor Mike Bamiloye was speaking, and he was saying that different mouths have kissed your mouth in the name of being professional. So he was referring to Nollywood and movies in general, how people are kissing each other up and down in the name of I am a professional. I'd like Miriam to give us a few of his direct quotes so that we know how the premise for this conversation.
Okay. So he also said, the evangelist also said, many actors have kissed cemetery ghosts who are masquerading as movie actresses. He also asked actors to consider how their spouses and children will be affected by watching them kiss each other in movies.
Okay, well, this is an interesting conversation because I wonder how people like Mel Gibson, all the other major actors abroad, where they were younger and they were kissing in the movies, how their children felt seeing their parents kiss, and what kind of adults their children have grown to be today. I would really like to see it, if it really affected their growth. It may have in some ways. We don't know. We don't have the data. But we've seen Sylvester Stallone, we've seen Jada Pinkett, we've seen all the major actors.
Well, can I just interrupt you there? First and foremost, a lot of these actors and actresses have left their homes to go with the person that they were kissing and making love to on set. A lot of them. Brad Pitt and what's her name?
Angelina
Jolie. Many of them like that.
There's an attraction that comes on set. Yes, there's an attraction.
So they get attracted. Before you know it, they are living, they are acting.
Yes.
They now start to live their acting. That's one. Now, two, when I was growing up, Nigerian movies, those we used to have For Better, For Worse, and all this kind of plays, I never, ever once saw them kissing. I never. When they just reach that level of moving close like this, camera will cut. But now, in the name of want to follow American way, and Indian movies, I don't know about now, but in those days, you never meet Indian people kissing on set.
Indian movie has changed, though.
I said, I don't know about now.
Let me tell you about now. I would explain now to you. They are going full naked.
They will do the thing, they will dance the dance, everything. And then...
Seductive.
But you have already imagined love and whatever you want to imagine. Suddenly, Hollywood don't take over all our life. Everybody don't become Hollywood. And everybody is now kissing on set. One of my brothers, I won't say which one, he say his own can never ever, if he sees his spouse or clinical acting, kissing, that's the end of the marriage. He said, that's the end. How can you be kissing? In fact, he quarrels on behalf
of people's wives,
or his friends who are kissing. You will see him, you say, what is your own? What is your own? Say, no, it's wrong.
Well, okay, let's talk about this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this kissing part.
So it's not easy, that's the truth. But people that marry actors and actresses sort of know, it comes with the terrain. And I don't think there's any of them that wouldn't get jealous about the level of intimacy when they see it, because these things happen. It's human. It's like I watch a movie where there's a sad scene. I see and I cry. And then I watch a love scene and I feel the love. But if I'm watching a love scene and I'm seeing my partner really embody the love, I will feel the jealousy. And then a part of me would now be like, that's acting. The reality is with me. So for some people, it takes a lot of maturity to marry actors.
Serious maturity.
A lot.
You know,
and that's why some of them choose to marry themselves. Some will be like, I can't even marry yourself. So can understand what I'm
our
going
guest
through.
last week talked with Toyin. She's married. I can't imagine. I'm not sure I've seen her kiss in a movie, but I can imagine what her husband would feel if she had a kissing or even a full sex scene in a movie. I don't know how he'll take that, number one. But I wonder what RMD's wife has... RMD has been there, done that. He has a placard. I don't understand. I don't understand. So she is mature.
Yes.
She's a mature woman. She's the woman that should be speaking to other actors on how to manage and how to understand
there's also the case
situation.
of trust and fidelity. Because some people are not kissing on movie scenes, but they are not trustworthy and they are not faithful into the marriage. and some are kissing on movie scene, but they are very trustworthy
faithful.
and they are very faithful
Which one?
to their marriage.
You don't know.
We are just creating scenarios that are...
But
yeah.
let me come to you,
Yes.
Miriam. Your thoughts on this kissing
See,
matter. Did you let your husband kiss on set?
No. Why? Is he an
That's
actor?
why I did not marry an actor.
Exactly. But also, the evangelist, I mean, he made me laugh when he said you're taking cemetery ghosts. And the truth is, I agree with him. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, it's just acting. But now, as a full, mature wife of somebody, never. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with it. Because, I mean, precedence shows that we see actors who move on and their marriages crumble because they cannot take themselves out of character. The actors themselves, they tell us, they say you get into character and you become this person.
True.
So, and some of them have told us that it takes a while to even get out of character long after production.
Very
it takes
true.
them a while, they have to retrace their steps. Then you now tell me we watch a movie and everybody say, oh my God, do you feel the chemistry between them? Yeah. And I'll be sitting down beside you as everybody's talking about the chemistry between you.
Your husband and somebody else.
Never. But also, I think it talks about how we should, this should be a conversation of how we want to highlight our culture. It's a place where we always talk about our culture. We are conservative, right? Let's use things like this to tell our stories. Do you understand? We talked about the just concluded World Cup and how we had these singers who were fully dressed and yes, they were so beautiful. It embodied the Middle Eastern culture. Let us do that. And even Hollywood actors are calling out some of their directors. There's a particular well-known Hollywood actor who says that the first time she was in the movie, I think it's Game of Thrones, she said the very first few seasons that, you know, she was asked to really open her body. But as she became more confident in her role and understanding her rights, there are some things she called them out. I said, I don't need to be naked for this. I don't need to do all this for this. Even they find it uncomfortable. So why should we now collect something that people, natural human beings are finding uncomfortable and making it part of our culture?
We're all raving about a movie that recently now.
Yes.
Where they're carrying breast up and down. And if but there was even one recently that they were just naked up and down. So why are we not? So 1 second we're like, oh, fantastic. Next second we're like,
we're not talking about her hair.
We will not be talking. We might be raving. People might be raving the movie, but it's not about the scene. But let's come back to what Mike Bamiloye said. Pastor Mike Bamiloye mentioned that evangelist Mike Bamiloye rather mentioned that they are lustful directors. So they are lustful directors who are enjoying the scene and enjoying, and they want that extreme, because it fits them and it suits their personality. Because you can deliver an erotic, engaging scene without anybody being naked, and you will get the message, and it will be engaging. But what we try to do is bear it all, because that's what we feel would trend.
But the same way there's a market for pornography. People are different. There are people who do that, and
If you want
pornography, I'm trying to say that people are different. So if you're a different actor, the director, you're different from you who are your mind is already pornographic.
But what I'm saying is, if you want pornography, go and watch pornography. Nobody's. I'm not judging anybody that likes pornography. There's no judgment. But what I'm saying is, in films, I think, I don't. Maybe I'm conservative. Maybe because I've grown up in Nigeria. I mean, I was watching a Nigerian film over the weekend. In that film, I saw nakedness. You know, for a Nigerian film, for me, it was like,
I know.
Have we reached that level?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I see it in an Oyinbo movie,
I know, that's how I feel too.
Shebi, that's
Them.
that's their way.
Thank
But
you.
here, I was like, hey, she showed her breast. Oh. She showed her breast. That's me.
You're breaking the glass ceiling.
Because me, I've grown up in that conservative way. If okay.
But you know they use stunt doubles. It's not really her best.
And it's
you know
stunt double, is it not the person's...
so the person, listen, the person's
I
face
can't
did
even
not...
be a stunt double. Someone will come and touch my breast.
The person
And then
did
I'll
not...
not even get any
the person-
information.
the person's face did not show. You only saw the person's breast.
Is that not
number
even
one.
worse for the stunt double?
But
I
you actually
slap
your
the
face...
At least if you did it and your face showed, they can even give you credit and say, look at it. Now they don't even know you have dashed their breast for free.
Yes,
And
you
they
just
don't know
you collect money for the breast. The
How
point
much
that,
money?
but do you know why? But do you also know that professional kissing in movies doesn't involve tongue?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's they're very careful. They stick to the lips alone because when it gets into the tongue, is intimate, where it's what you do privately.
But you know also
But
in real life that you can do kissing without using tongue. So it is a part of kissing. So I don't even know. When people say that, is it all kissings that we do that involve tongue? There are sometimes you do lip kissing. So you're already doing kissing. See, as for me, this thing that we do, I find it very uncomfortable as a co-Nigerian, co-black person to see my co-Nigerian women being handled like that. I don't like it. Oyibo people, I can watch it. I'm used to. I grew up watching it. I was like, oh, Oyibo, that is them.
Oyibo didn't start like that. There was a time they were like us, and it was gradual. They were introducing it gradually into Hollywood. That's what these guys are doing, and became the norm. So as we're doing it gradually, so another person doing movie next, we do the same thing, and now our we do the same thing. Before you know it, we're gradual. It's because this time last year, 2 years ago, wasn't this daring?
Yes.
Now we're seeing full breast.
2020.
So by 2025, by 2030. You are seeing everything.
Our children will grow up into a movie.
You want to do away with people like us. We old school.
Producers and directors, let's be thinking.
They want to bury us quickly. We will not die like that. We don't agree.
But you know, there was a time when the Nigerian Film and Video Censor Board, those ones were the ones that were certified, but now they're not even going into the national, they're not going into cinemas or CDs. You know, I think that it's time for those the Nigerian Film and Video Censor Board to reevaluate what exactly their metrics are and how they would relate with Netflix. So a movie can go on Netflix and has to still be censored by the Nigerian Film.
No, but you see, that's a good point. Now, if you're going to Netflix, you might not have to go through the Nigerian censors board anymore.
Yeah, I know they're not doing that.
And if I recall, this guy, there's an artist that was saying that if you want to get to a certain level, you have to do certain things. You have to, you know how new movies now are reinforcing the LGBTQ thinking. So if you're getting some certain international funding, your movies must begin to be able to embrace this way of life. So nudity is probably another thing where you need to start showing, for you to have access to a certain kind of level of funding. You must have the kind of liberal approach.
Mike Bamiloye, honestly, what we need to do, and he's a Christian, we need to raise
standard.
We need to raise the standard of Christian movies. We need to raise the funding that goes into ethical and clean movies. Yeah. We need to have a lot more of it. Because at the end of the day, we cannot keep complaining and lamenting about what they show on Netflix. When we don't have a platform.
Match it up.
Somebody built that platform and they have their agenda. And you cannot fight them on their platform on their own agenda. So you build your own platform, produce amazing content and get funding. And because Christians and Muslims are watching Netflix, and then you not come back and complain, I don't like the kind of movie my children are watching.
Well, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim.
Good. And
I'm not even complaining, I'm just alarmed.
Yeah, and you know what, what you said is right, but also I feel that this is a charge to all Christians and Muslims. I have seen businesses, there's a particular place that I used to go to and was really kid-friendly and would pay to go in, but just a minimal amount of money. But now the place is becoming more and more, it's turned to accommodate like older audience. And so there's a bar there are things more adult. And the truth is, now that it's becoming that, they are getting more customers and they are making more money. So the Christian funding or the Muslim funding for movies and content that we want to watch is that the real truth is Christians, we want to be Christians on Sundays and then we want to go home and watch our Netflix and our naked bodies. Yeah. So it is, for us, we're not even, there's no market for them. Exactly. We're so much, we are the ones consuming. There's no other group of people that are consuming. We're the ones that are still consuming this thing.
And many of our preachers were getting this money to build big edifices. Biggest church, mansion.
Biggest church in Africa.
The funding you're getting, these are the kind of things could be better used into knowledge, because that's how you actually change mindset.
Yes.
It's what they see that changes their mindset. So as you're getting funding, it's not about building this huge cathedral. It's about investing in funding, because we all watch, is it that waiting room? That's the waiting room. That's a Christian movie that the whole world practically, in fact, became a ministry about waiting room. Because somebody funded
God's calling.
So God's calling, that's funding. So we need more of those kind of movies to be funded, not just building big edifices.
But I think also before, all this one, they will fund them, maybe. What I'm trying to say is, to the Nigerian directors, there is sensuality and sexuality. There is a big difference. You can be sensual and nice without, you don't have to be
nice.
In your face, sexual.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should still try, you know.
Indian movies used to be sensual then.
Yes.
You know exactly, you get the message.
Yeah.
They'll
get the
come so
message.
They will
close.
dance those dance.
They'll dance, and they'll come so close, and they won't kiss you, but you got the
And
message.
it was
but
so
now,
interesting.
Indian movies
And
have
they
changed
were, and they
YK.
were popular.
Like Indian movies,
You
forget
know me,
that
I'm
one.
not a film person.
I mean, I'm a film person. Indian movies, I watched one
Indian movie
recently.
in a while.
Oh, yikes. I was shocked. When I saw they were practically, I'm like, hey, am I still watching?
But it was on
Taton?
Netflix.
On
So there's a funding and there's a support. So Kingdom, I call it Kingdom financiers. It's important that we put our money, because we talk about wholesome movies for our children and movies that actually carries the right values. And
Before
we
we
need to do
forget,
that.
we have a pastor that is kissing on set.
Oh,
You have a pastor that
you
is
just
kissing
went
on
pastor,
there.
a pastor.
Morale,
We have a
he's a
pastor that is
pastor.
kissing on
And
set.
this pastor,
He's a professional.
Who is that?
Ah,
Which
He's
pastor?
kissing.
Tell
He
me
says
now.
na movie
You
they make.
mentioned the
Oh,
name.
they say
You
that
said
the
mention the
big
name.
He said it
Udukoya,
himself.
Pastor
PJ.
Udukoya. He's kissing.
he's a
He's a man.
pastor.
Yes.
He's a pastor. And
So,
he preaches.
so
And he
how would
preaches
how?
powerful
Yes,
preaching.
a powerful preacher. I listen to
I
his message.
listen to his
It's
message and
fantastic.
it's powerful.
And he kisses, eh?
He's on set because
kiss is
he's-
gone.
the character is
kiss you.
kissing. He's not the one that is
kiss
kissing. He's the
Gidigo.
character that is kissing.
Okay, Sigidigo.
Kissing, Ewele.
The kiss was, and you know, he's very, very muscular. He's very-
Fine guy.
He was-
Correct.
he was a
But he
sensual
has his
sin.
beard and
No,
everything.
was it sensual or sexual?
He was a
Wait.
Is he married?
theater.
Hell yeah, he's married.
I don't know. Is he married?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if he's married, but he was the shark.
He's married with two children.
Ah,
Two children.
theater.
Evangelist.
And he's a pastor.
Bamiloye should go ask him.
Yes. Let's sort out. Let's clear out the Christian.
Bring down the Christian home kissing
Oh,
first.
because all of you say, hey, big cathedral, big clinical, big see your
Yeah.
pastor is not kissing.
I would honestly like to interview him
Yeah.
and ask him
No,
about.
we-
We've interviewed him.
we asked
But
him.
we asked
We
him.
asked him that question,
Yeah,
but
he
I don't know what he
answered
said.
it. He just said
he's
character,
the
yes.
character is
movie
kissing.
is movie, real life.
Character is
That's what they say. That is a film. It's just
we
it's
know.
we are, you know, because
But
when you act a scene, you try and
Become that
person,
Yes.
become the scene. You read.
So you are not
know,
PJ,
because
you
they
are
actually-
Kevin. At that
they
moment, you are
actually-
Kevin.
because
And it's
my-
Kevin
my
that is
partner
kissing.
And Kevin is having fun.
My partner
Kevin.
is going to act in a film tomorrow over the weekend.
Really? Are they going to be kissing?
I don't know yet. To
You
just
better check
acted.
the scripts. You should check the scripts. Why?
No, if she
you
checks
didn't give me the
script,
script. You told me I've been reading the script. So I didn't ask
but
for the
if she
script.
checks the script and she finds out, what can she do?
No, but
You
she
tell
will
not to
express her.
Will she?
Would you tell him not to
They should
kiss?
do
Wait, let me hear. Would you tell YK not to kiss?
Would I tell you?
Yeah, Uncle Theo not to
Can
kiss.
you imagine saying to him, you
Let me think about it. Let me think. Ask me after the break.
There's no break by ending the show. So Uncle Theo might be kissing on the scene. YK will egg bed on you.
Eh, Babe,
Egg bed on him. But I would like to see Uncle Theo kiss.
Hey!
Why?
War won't start. So you want to go and kiss in front of me?
No, we're not.
And then, you know how you know when you kiss your husband in the movie? It's okay, oh my God, he's so handsome. You know, what RM's wife has gone through. RM's wife, Nigerian women, we've been praying for RM's wife for many, many years. I've been praying for his wife for
It's not just the prayer, it's the jealous. As in, I'm jealous
on her behalf.
Why?
How is the wife?
Why?
cooking? You know, when you watch RMD movie,
Even another person, Omonioboli's husband, I'm like,
she doesn't kiss, so.
no, not really. Not and she don't imitate her, but they've been married for a long time and she has done. She's done. No?
I don't remember her kissing anywhere.
They've done.
Done what?
Not kissing. Like
accent,
they've
past.
had kissing scene.
I don't remember how
in the
many
past.
kissing.
And there are several actors
And that person I like kissing is this girl, Mercy Johnson.
And
Oh, I
Does she
love her
kiss?
kissing sense. She's very, very real. She's a really nice. She kisses real. You know,
She kisses where?
She's a good. She's a good kisser on the
in the-
scene, but her husband. But then she wasn't married. I don't know if her husband.
if she's been
will allow
married.
her
So
to-
I believe in having a bit of compromise. I remember, I
Me, I
believe
know
that
that
when
my
you
own
get
partner
married,
cannot agree for me
when
to
you get
kiss.
married, there should be a bit of, you should, actually for within the Nigerian scene, I would want you to respect me enough to say that I would not take these roles, I won't do this because I know
Okay.
how sensitive it might
That's
be.
easy. Let's say spouses. How about your children when they become actors? What would you insist that they don't act something?
That's normal. You are getting that your children are going to live their own
their
life.
own life.
So,
It's their own spouse that we argue
Here
with
we
them.
are. I'm
It's
just saying,
not
here
me.
we are talking about no.
Please,
But then our children now decide to be actors.
God, they did not catch your face.
Mariam,
Mariam started thinking.
Miriam, if my daughter, I know it's too late for that, but if my daughter decides that she wants to kiss him, that is her husband's problem, not my own.
Okay,
We have to wrap up.
If you want to kiss,
We have to wrap
kiss.
up.
Anything you want to do,
But
it's your husband.
I think I'd like us to end with Evangelist Bamiloye's quote where he was saying that, what's that thing he said about ghosts?
Lots of
You're kissing cemetery ghosts.
Yes, so
who
please be careful not to
masquerade themselves as actors.
Yes, so please don't come and kiss cemetery ghosts. And I think, but jokes apart, the truth is that it's a profession. They're acting. Even Evangelist actually also is a producer of movies. I
Yes,
mean,
he is.
Mount Zion. And I know that he has also done love scenes, but they don't do the kissing part, which is, I mean, everybody do it according to their own way of doing things. But the truth is that many of us respect people who are professionals in this regard. And I think it's their art, and we shouldn't trivialize the work they do. These are things they've learned to do professionally. So we, instead of complaining, let's fund clean content.
Yeah,
Let's
and have
fund
more
good
options.
content and give people options and match it
And
dollar
let's
for dollar.
watch clean
Let's
content.
match it naira for naira so that people know that they have quality good content and to watch, so we don't have to judge what they're doing.